Dice, baby.
Yeah, we're here playing Out of the Abyss, where if you're watching our YouTube, you actually should be caught up to this episode. We're still behind on Strahd because Strahd has a lot more episodes to release. Well, while we are waiting, I'm going to go ahead and do some shout outs to some folks that we met on Twitter. Actually, we've been making a lot of friends on Twitter. And we met these people during TTRPG Rising, which is an event that takes place, I think, once a month or once every few months. I'm not exactly sure. But it's basically a hashtag where you can meet a lot of up-and-coming TTRPG players, streamers, things like that.
Yeah. Get heated up today.
Okay, sorry, Morales. Can you mute yourself for just 1 second? Thank you. Anyways, so here are some of the awesome artists / streamers that we met this week on Twitter. First and foremost, our new friends at Talking XP. That is at Talking XP on Twitter. They are also a streaming TTRPG D&D 5e players, and they are also running Curse of Strahd. They are a few sessions behind. They're actually quite a bit behind us. They just went into Valaki, but I'm actually really enjoying their stream. They're a lot of fun, so check them out. We also met L2S_entertainment at Late to the Show Entertainment on Twitter, and they do world building, and they also have a TTRPG Twitch channel. They do a lot of content around world building and things like that. It's really interesting, especially if you're homebrewing your own world. The other guys we met was Eat, Crit, and Die at Eat, Crit, and Die on Twitter.
It's a great name.
They do, I know, right? They do beginner tutorials for anybody who's starting out in TTRPG. So it's your first time playing any tabletop game, especially D&D. Go check out some of their tutorials. My new obsession is Wizard Dice. That's at WEEZERD Dice on Twitter. And they make the sparkliest dice I've ever seen, and I want them all. So go check them out. And then we also have AKKATOR06, Akator06 on Twitter. They actually, I think maybe Alex, you can talk about this a little bit. They have homebrewed some amazing subclasses that Alex immediately went and checked out. Did you find any you loved?
I'm the, typical homebrewer in this campaign, or in this group, I think. I'm always playing a homebrew race or subclass. And I definitely found a few that stuck out. One that stuck out to me the most was this really cool wizard subclass that, allows you to, exit your body as a spirit. And, you have, resistances, and you can, get buffs to your spells and stuff like that. Pretty creative. Especially for classes that don't really have too many, by the book subclasses. Even after how many books have come out recently, there's still some classes like Druid that feel like they have not as many. So if you're looking for some homebrew to play, and if you love homebrew as much as I do, I think it's definitely a cool list to check out.
And it's totally free. It's just a PDF you can download. They're amazing. And then our last friends that we met this week is called A Tornado of Kawaii-ness. It's Kawaii_tornado on Twitter. And they have created a bunch of bard subclasses for people who love metal. And I have found several in there that I want to play, especially one that I think I'm going to play for Alex's one shot. They're amazing. And they have all sorts of ideas if you love metal and you want to be sort of a different kind of bard. So those are all of our new friends. Go check them out. If you follow our YouTube, they will be they'll be linked in the YouTube video, not on Twitch. But yeah, these are all of our new friends, and we'll be doing shout outs on our stream for anybody new and interesting that we meet. All right, I think we have everybody here, right?
Yep, and I did add the Twitter and Twitch links to the profile. Sorry, the Twitter and YouTube links to the Twitch profile. So if you're watching us on Twitch live, then you should be able to easily get to the other ones to subscribe over there as well.
Awesome.
If you're looking for me on Twitter, just sorry I haven't posted in 7 years. I've been meaning to catch up.
Yeah, Devin is not our social media content manager, but that's okay because he's an awesome DM and player.
Thank you.
So that's all we need. I will.
And apparently
I'll
a great
handle the
Rocket
other
League
crap.
player too.
Yeah.
Used to be. I plateaued and everyone passed me by.
All right. So getting us into Out of the Abyss. Who wants to do our recap for last time? Anyone other than Doug before we give it to Doug?
No,
I'll do it.
And I call not it because I talked too much last time. So please, Bestia.
Go,
Unless somebody else
Chantel.
wants to. I mean, Theo or Alex, if you want to do it, you are welcome to.
Now go for it.
Okay.
Alex, one of these days I'm going to make you do it.
I've done it before.
He does it
You
sometimes.
have.
I'll make Theo do it.
His version.
Yeah.
That's
I don't think I've heard Theo do a recap like ever.
That's all right though. He stays up late for us, so
That's true.
He doesn't.
That's
it's
true.
unfair to make him pay attention to everything.
His work is just being here.
Yep.
All right, so we started the scene with Rohija unconscious but stable, totally stable. She was fine. Eldith was also stable, but I think she too was a bit unconscious. I don't remember for sure. And then PARREN was not unconscious, but he was tied up. All three of them were at the magic shop. BONUMBESTIA was inside tending to the wounded and was about to apply some ointment to Rohija to help her be less unconscious, and decided that maybe that wasn't the best choice. She had other things to do, like try and chase this mage. So she just left that ointment there, knowing that PARREN and Eldith and Rohija were going to be just fine. It's okay. And dashed away with... with DRUMBOLI and JOVIS, who had started their pursuit of this mage. So we follow the three of them challenging and chasing this mage through the city, going through obstacles, avoiding almost all of them, as this mage ended up hitting most of them. So that was nice. But there was that one fire cart that bashed right into BONUMBESTIA as JOVIS took a leapfrog flying leap over her to avoid it. DRUMBOLI did manage to catch up to this mage, and on his way to do that, he monologued at him about how horrible the Drow are and how he just never stood a chance. He tried to show some compassion and some understanding and empathy for this mage who didn't really seem to give a fuck.
Or even give me his name.
So he climbed up to the top of a spire and continued running. DRUMBOLI barely managed to catch up to him before he got to the edge, at which point he informed DRUMBOLI that our fates were intertwined. We have been noticed by the Eye of the Abyss, which sounds fucking terrifying.
True that.
And he decided to yeet himself into the water below, where he found some allies to help him escape. But not before throwing a sending stone up to DRUMBOLI, who, with an amazing dexterous catch, caught it. Going back to the magic shop, Anthera's, eventually PARREN was able to get himself out of his bindings, and he went and woke up. Eldith.
Penetrated the sleeping of Eldith.
This podcast is not for kids.
I didn't say... aroused. He roused her. It was fine. She woke up. And she went over and helped take care of Rohija and close some of her wounds with a spell. And they were able to find a few things around the magic shop that would be really helpful items for us later down the line. The group came back together at the magic shop. We coalesced and discussed what to do next and decided that taking the egg to the Flame Keepers was probably the next smart move. So after taking some time to deal with our wounds and get some rest after our exhausting run through the city, we went over to the Flame Keepers and were able to get Gartokar to come see us, secretly. And we did the exchange. He got the egg and with a little bit of fish bones and trash. And we got our map and our 2,000 gold pieces each.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so he gave us our money and our map. And
Sorry, that was me. I forgot what I offered you.
we apparently did too, until Doug remembered. Thanks,
Yes,
Doug.
thanks, Doug.
Yeah,
You know,
I just found it in the notes when I was looking at other stuff, so...
I had noticed it before
And
our
that's
session
why
last
Doug
time.
takes notes.
Right?
So he gave us the 2 best routes out and gave suggestions on where we should go. After some discussion, we decided that Lingdenstone was probably the best choice, where the fewest drow would be in our way. So we headed to the water to find some water vessels to help take us down our journey to Blingdenstone. And Drumboli touched the water and fell unconscious again.
Whoops.
As Jovis tried to save him, he noticed that was not possible. The water level rose to keep Drumboli inside, so the water was clearly trying to murder him. And he ended up having a moment with his new patron, Awesome, who is a very lovely fish woman, and basically gave him an ultimatum: trust me or else. And he decided, all right, I'll trust you. You seem pretty cool. So she gave him some information on where his mother, Mithril, was, and that she's not in the city of spiders. She is elsewhere. Didn't tell him where, but, maybe we'll find that out later.
She
We know
didn't
she
say
fled
she
the
was
city,
elsewhere. We just know she survived the breaking of the city. That's all you know.
Said she wasn't in Menzoberran's.
No, she said the waters don't run there anymore, so she can't see her anymore.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I understood
makes
it
sense.
as she was in a place where the waters don't run anymore, so she had left and gone somewhere else. That's a good clarification.
Yep.
Okay, so the waters don't run in Menzoberran's anymore, so that's something that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of it, we were all okay boarding our boat. Jovis had decided to tie the little boat on for a little love shack for Eldith and Perrin in the back.
That was not the initial purpose of that. But
It is what it is.
It's there
That
now.
boat's going to be a lot of things by the end of this trip.
And we shoved off and started on our journey to the next place as we were about to have a blessing from Jos and Rohisha.
And as you guys are floating away, kind of into this sort of crack in the stone wall of this gigantic cavern that houses Gracklestugh, and the city kind of fades behind you, the waters were rising up onto the city. As she said, let's put out this fire. So you don't know what's happening behind you, but the waters were rising on Gracklestugh.
And there was a complete Darrow genocide that we
that
may
also
have
happened.
assisted in.
But we saved the city.
But not on purpose. We didn't want to murder the Darrow. We really wanted them free.
The Darrow murdered themselves when they got out of their cage.
So, with all of that in mind, you all find yourselves floating through this fairly calm water. The crevasse stretches so far above you, you can't see the ceiling. You are bordered either side by rock face. There is no shore at this point, and you're just floating along quietly. What would you like to do? Quick note, I have very minor prep for this session, so I'm going to let you guys kind of take it away. I do have some things, but I just want to let you guys know this is your session to figure out what you want to do.
What do we want to do?
so I would like to start out just to make sure that all of the characters have added an additional 1900 gold, because we already got 100 gold up front out of that 2000. So you should have added 1900. And for the listeners out there, that was part of the reward that was initially promised to us for returning the dragon egg to the Flamekeepers that we had forgotten to ask about when we returned the egg, and our DM has graciously retconned it for us.
Yep. Sometimes I forget things too.
And you know, make sure to add it to Eldith's too. Maybe her homelands could use some.
Yeah, that's right. Let me do that.
Did everyone bring a towel, I say? Bring a towel. It's going to be a long trip.
Rohija just pulls out some of the incense that she had in her bag. means. Like, I do not have a towel, but I have means to have a prayer.
Yes, that sounds long overdue at this point. Would you all like to join us?
Yarg! I think a blessing is absolutely in order. I've got a few things I'd like to say to my god.
I'm taking all help I can get right now, but yours is especially appreciated.
And I'll look to Rohija and say, would you like to start this time?
Sure. So she kind of like lights the incense and props it up on something so it doesn't get
So the boat is just very gently listing side to side as you set up your altar. Go ahead.
All right. Helm, the god who Jovis and I diligently serve, have protected us through a treacherous journey these past few weeks. From the moment we descended into the Underdark, we have been quick on our feet, running from a hot breath on our neck, whether it be from humanoids with questionable morals or monsters with questionable biology. In this time, my personal connection with Helm has changed, from being a leader and a deliverer of orders to more of a supporter for my goals. And among this group, we all have many. So in this prayer, I ask Helm not for a guiding light, but for a burning fire. My life was once destroyed by a fire, and in my mind, that moment burns on eternally. But I've grown to use it to my advantage. I use the fire to ignite my passion like an oil-soaked rag, to push on and remain strong through the difficulties I face. I recommend that you use this blessing as an opportunity to do the same. Whatever passions you have, whatever goals you want to accomplish, let this fire greatly amplify them.
And I will sort of scoot over to the center of the boat, facing PARREN, as I ask everyone to close their eyes and just sort of breathe and focus on their inner selves, and ask permission. May I touch your forehead as I bless you?
Yes, if your helm can reach all the way down here, then please do.
PARREN.
Yep, PARREN nods in assent.
PARREN.
Okay. He has before, so hopefully he will again. So I'll begin with drawing the eye symbol that we have done so many times, and I will speak to PARREN, and may Helm bring you peace, and look over Digby and protect him from this green creature in your visions. We also ask for guidance, maybe in the form of the determination of fire, as we all surround you to help you continue your mission of freeing more of the slaves that have succumbed to the fate that we almost succumbed to ourselves, and to look after your heart as your time with Eldith draws nearest to a short separation, and then hopefully brings us all back together for a long duration again. And, then
At this point,
good.
PARREN, is there anything you want to say?
Thank you, Brother Jovis.
And as PARREN says that, you all watch him suddenly drop to one knee in the center of the boat without even meaning to. His hand presses down on the bottom of the boat, fingers splayed. From beneath this hand, a single sproutling shoots up. Just two little leaves on either side, shimmering green, as though it has just been watered. Immediately, the boat begins to shake. And as you all look over the side, you see what can only be called an explosion of nature around you. The lake surface is suddenly an oasis of green, water lilies and fronds, trees shooting upward towards the ceiling of the cavern as though they're hundreds of years old. Willows now brush their lithe branches against the surface of the water, and small frogs and fish are now teeming the area where before there was only silence. Now there is life. PARREN, as you open your eyes and take in the minor miracle you just performed, you catch a glimpse of a form that is familiar. Just the outline shape of Digby, glowing within human light. His hand points in the direction that you are now heading, and you hear in your mind, "Go, seek out my kin below the mountain. Speak of me to them, should you need to gain their favor. Be well, my friend." And the form shimmers away. PARREN, you can now add the shadow-touched wisdom feat to your character.
That's awesome.
Okay. I think that's his first feat.
Very nice. It's a good one.
PARREN!
How did you do
That
that?
was amazing.
Was that Helm? Looking at Rohija.
Well, thank you, Brother Jones.
I look over at Drumboli with a little bit of a smirk and a raised eyebrow.
Nothing like that's ever been seen down here.
And as you guys continue floating forward, there's just this oasis of green behind you that PARREN has now created an entire ecosystem that just exists in this strange place in the Underdark.
I almost wish we didn't have to go forward.
Really, this place is suddenly so beautiful, PARREN. You have brought so much light and... beauty is the only word I can think of to describe it.
Is this what your home looks like, PARREN?
It's where I was. It reminds me of where Digby saved me.
I want to know more about Digby. He sounds like a pretty amazing person. And as she says this, her eyes start filling with tears at the wonder that she's seeing.
Yes, who was Digby?
And Jovis says, "We can stop and rest on one of these little green islands if we would like to finish the prayer and then speak of Digby in this land."
I would love that.
Yes. Be nice to catch our breath somewhere we're not being hunted. What better place than this?
Yeah, I think Brother Jovis here should be able to finish the prayer so everybody else can feel the wonderful blessings of Helm that I'm feeling, that PARREN's feeling.
Okay. So I'll ask Rohija to sort of guide us towards one of the islands as I continue the prayers for everyone else.
You do?
So I will turn to Eldith next and ask, "May I touch your forehead?"
Aye.
And I will continue to, sort of on the left side, draw the eye symbol that is familiar to everyone now at this point. But then in addition, I will draw 2 crossed arrows on the right side of her forehead. And I will say, "We ask Helm to watch over you as you prepare to journey back to your homeland, to keep you safe and to provide you the wisdom that you seek when speaking with your king, and the courage that you may need in your travels. We shall keep you in our hearts and prayers until you return."
You see the symbol of the 2 arrows and the eye flash on her forehead for a moment in a brilliant green, and then fade as though it's being sucked into her mind. And you can see, almost as in a trance, she reaches out and picks up her bow from her back and takes a look at it, and it flashes with the same green energy. And she now has a +1.
Ooh.
Oh.
Cool.
I look over again at Drumboli with a raised eyebrow and a little bit of a smirk as I turn to him now and ask, "May I touch your forehead?"
I say awkwardly, yes, and also with you.
I let out a little bit of a smile, a little bit of a chuckle.
It's not used to rituals or ceremonies, I mean. Yeah. Used to dancing for mine. I'm sorry. I'll be still.
His foot taps on the bottom of the boat.
You may celebrate in any way that you choose.
Clothes are off. No.
They were off the second he got in the boat.
Still on. I'm waiting till the island.
May I touch your forehead?
Yes, thank you.
So on the left side again, I'll draw the eye symbol, but then on the right, I start off with a series of 3 waves, and then just above them a moon rising out from the ocean, a crescent-shaped moon. As I say, as Osam looks over you in your search for your mother, we ask Helm to help guide us to information that will turn us in the right direction. You have grown in your strength, speed, and also your wit as you speak your truth of Eliastre, and we look forward to helping you fulfill your destiny.
Thank you, brother. I accept the word and the teachings of Helm, and I hope that you all continue to accept me as well. Thank you. I'm better off with you all in my life, and Helm as well.
Drumboli, as you say this, you kind of close your eyes a little bit, and you realize the warmth of Jovis's hand did not reach you. Instead, the symbol of the moon grows cold on your forehead, as does the eye. Jovis, you watch them disappear. A second later, Drumboli, you realize you're not breathing. And when you try to draw breath, you can't. A burbling voice whispers in your ear so close you can almost feel the lips it comes from. I do not share well, my champion. You have bound yourself to me and no other. The bracelets on your wrists become unbearably heavy, pulling you down to the bottom of the boat. The weight too much. Your lungs are screaming for air. Your brain is close to shutting down. The rest of you watch as Drumboli is dragged to the floor of the boat, and for a moment, the wood beneath the onyx bands around his wrists begins to crack and splinter in the bottom of the boat. What do you do?
Am I still unconscious?
No. You just
Okay.
can't draw breath right now, and your onyx bracelets are pulling you through the floor of this boat, and soon will crack the bottom of the boat.
I look around pleading at everyone around me,
We need to take those bracelets off.
and I shake my head.
You're gonna pull
The
us
boat
all down.
begins to list to
You're gonna
either
murder
side.
us all. Those bracelets are evil. Get them off.
I can't. If I do, she won't help me find my mother.
The wood is now beginning to splinter.
Let's drag
You
him
will
into
have
the
a
water.
hole in the boat.
No,
Do what you
Yeah,
must, Drumboli. We need to save your mother.
Let's drag him into the side. Let's dip him in the water. Maybe he can breathe in there. I don't know, man. He was doing good under the water earlier. Let's just stick him in the water.
as they're hauling me over, I'm trying to rub the markings off of my forehead to try and undo whatever's happened.
As BONUMBESTIA stands with Eldith's help, they fling you over the side of the boat. You land in the cool water, and for the first moment, you draw breath underwater and realize that you are able to. You now have amphibious breathing.
I scream out, Osam! Osam, are you there?
There is only silence, but your bracelets no longer feel heavy, and you are released.
All right, so I'll swim back up to the surface and reach my hand up for someone to help me back on the boat. I say, they feel light again. It's over.
What happened?
I've been trying to take on the advice and teachings of everyone I find wise, but Osam does not like to participate in group teachings with others and says that I should only follow her. I'm sorry, Brother Jovis, Brother Rohija. This is not my will, but I need to find my mother, and the only connection is Osam. For now, I will have to pass on the blessing, but please don't take any slight to it and know that I am still your friend.
It is understood.
Jovis will remember that.
Rohija takes her tinderbox and relights the incense that went out after the huge splash of water.
I'm sorry, everyone. I didn't mean to ruin this.
Yeah, you didn't ruin it. It's fine. We'll get back on track. Jovis.
Alright, so I sort of reposition myself in the boat a little bit. You know, there's a little bit of a puddle of water in the center of the boat where I'm trying to sit. So, you know, I'm like, you know, sitting in this cold water now, a little distracted, but I continue on rotating towards BONUMBESTIA and ask for permission to touch your forehead.
Yard, please, I would love a blessing, and I have a few words to say myself when you're done.
Okay. So, on the left side, our familiar eye symbol, and on the right side, the same silver dragon sort of symbol that I drew last time. So you'd be familiar with that as well. As I say, BONUMBESTIA, you have grown so much in the last few weeks. We can only hope that Bahamut is as proud of your achievements and restraints as we are sure Helm is. We ask you to forgive yourself for your rageful vengeance in the past, as we continue righting the world's wrongs together. While we can never replace the family that you have lost, we hope to be a new family as we continue this journey together.
Jovis, Rohija, PARREN, Eldith, DRUMBOLI. You have become much like family to me in this short period of time. I have been blessed to meet people who are willing to sacrifice themselves and be there for the ones they care about, who have helped them. I count myself blessed just for being in your company. But I would like to say a prayer to Bahamut for all of us. Holiest Lord Bahamut, great platinum dragon, bringer of justice and honor, I pray to thee. I have faith in your tenets, and I strive above all else to bring justice, goodness, and honor where I travel. But I have faltered, finding vengeance where I sought justice, and death where I endeavored to find freedom. Help us in our sojourn to gain sanctuary. Help us to serve your justice. Help us bring liberty to the denizens of this dark place. In repentance of my cowardice, I vowed to obtain justice for my fallen brethren, but I fear I went too far. Guide me in my endeavors. Help me to find balance and understanding. I need you. And as I say this, I'm looking at you guys rather than praying. I need you. I need your words of guidance and your mercy and light to bring honor and protection to those who cannot find it for themselves. And then I pray again. I am your supplicant. I will do as you command. Only give me the word, and I am at your service. And I open my eyes and look at everyone again. And I am at your service.
As you open your eyes, the first thing that you see, of course, is Jovis, since you were just looking at him. But there is something strange. As your eyes kind of focus behind him, a terrifying image. A massive platinum dragon's face, ethereal, eyes glowing with an inhuman silver pallor, as his nose comes down with massive teeth and leans down to meet you. Only you hear this. You have come for penance, my child. And go forth with my blessing and accomplish your task. I will be watching, and we will speak again. Pain, searing, blinding pain in your shoulder blades, so intense you curl in on yourself. The rest of you watch as the scales on her back begin to shift, like wheat disturbed by a particularly strong wind. She gives out a groan as her fists tighten, and at first you think she's jumping into the air. Instead, she shoots up above you all with a painful grimace on her face. Two tumors begin to grow out of her back, growing longer, then shattering the scales above them as two massive silver dragon wings sprout from her back and begin to beat. You now have flying speed equal to your walking speed.
Hey!
And throughout this, you hear BONUMBESTIA screaming with pain as this is happening until the wings unfurl. You just hear...
Drumboli gets knocked out of the boat.
What the fuck?
This is how I learned I have a swim speed, is I'm just keeping up with the boat now. Oh, Jesus, BONUMBESTIA!
And I set myself down and try to figure out what to do with my wings now.
They fold back in against your back.
What the fuck?
It does take one action to activate your wings,
All right.
but there are no other limitations.
I got some wings, guys.
Try them!
You take
And I just
off.
kind of circle around them above for a little while and then land back down. That was amazing!
At least there will be more room in the boat with me in the water and her in the air.
And the other two in the other boat. That leaves plenty of room.
Oh no, that just leaves you and
Jovis can have some
Rhodesia.
privacy, too.
So I just have this bewildered look on my face. Like, this is nothing like any prayer session we have ever done before. As I turn to Rohija, and sort of nod. We've done this so many times that I don't necessarily even ask. I just sort of nod and wait for a nod back.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Go ahead.
draw the eye symbol on Rohija's forehead, as I have hundreds of times before, saying, "Rohija, here before Helm, I beg your forgiveness for following my drive against evil before protecting those close to me. I initially felt like I was sent by Helm to look over you, but as the days go on, I realize that it may be you who was sent to look over me. May I continue to grow with your guidance, and may we both continue to be shining examples of the light of Helm that hopefully will soon shine upon us all again."
Rahija just like grabs your hands and kind of just like gives you like a nice warm hug.
Rahija, as you embrace Jovis, for the first time in a long time, you don't feel cold. You don't feel tired. The permeating fear and bone-deep exhaustion, the numbness that has controlled you since you entered the Underdark fades. For a moment, you can feel the warmth of the sun shining down on you. A sensation nearly forgotten through everything you've experienced in the last few weeks. You're not in a boat, floating along a poison river to your inevitable doom. You are safe. You are with family. You are home. Perhaps Yaya hums an ancient song you're familiar with, just out of sight. And as you allow this comfort to fill your body and your mind, soothing your heated blood and bringing you a measure of peace, you open your eyes and something strange. Putting your hand to your chest, you feel a second heartbeat alongside the other. Jovis, as you release her in your embrace, you feel this secondary heartbeat pulsing inside her, in her chest.
I get this sort of confused look and ask, "Do you feel alright?"
I feel healthy. I feel good, but I'm not sure what this is.
As you're kind of moving around a little bit, kind of trying to understand what's happening to your body, when you turn your body, it's as though the heartbeat moves to a point on your body. And the more you turn, you realize that wherever you're moving, this heartbeat is pointing in the same direction.
I sort of say, "Hold there for a second," and shift to one of the edges of the boat and ask, Do you notice anything?
The point remains the same no matter where anyone else moves.
I grab one of the oars and try and like kind of subtly push the boat in the direction of the heartbeat.
You notice it is the direction that you were heading in originally.
Rahija kind of just has her hand on her chest and then kind of looks
It's
in the
strange feeling your normal heartbeat and the other one much slower. Toom. Toom. Toom.
She kind of looks up in the direction of wherever it's pointing.
The darkness continues forward on your way.
It just kind of remains locked there for a moment or two.
Are you okay, Rahija?
I don't know.
What are you looking for? You look like you're searching for something.
This is one of the first times I've received a message from Helm without an obvious meaning behind it. But Helm does not give messages for no reason.
I'm sure you will get some clarity soon. I believe we are on the right path and we are doing the righteous work that we were sent here to do. Whether it was on purpose that we found this place or an accident, there is a job for us to do now. And I believe it is on all of us to do what must to fix this place.
I agree. But after, like, kind of staring off in the distance, she kind of recollects herself and looks back to Jovis and kind of refocuses and says, "All right, Jovis, you are a flame that does not burn in my mind, but a flame that burns in my heart. Helm allowed us to meet. He allowed our paths to cross, but our connection is what keeps us together. Helm strengthens our bond like a forge helps to strengthen a sword, but he is not the smith. We fight for each other as much as we fight for our common mission. And it can be hard when the mission is forced to take priority. But, like a sword, things can be resharpened. And Helm's support should allow us to fight forward, as working partners and as companions." And she draws the symbol of Helm on his forehead.
Jovis, the dark lake, the Underdark, and the rest of your party fades from view. Instead, you open your eyes and find yourselves at the bottom of steps to a grand temple. It could be similar to yours, but it is more ancient, grander, as though yours is but an imitation of this real place. The enormous steps lead up. What do you do?
So, I look over and Rohija is with me, or just me? Okay.
Just you.
I sort of take it in wonder and just start heading up the stairs almost as if I'm not even controlling my body, like I'm just going.
Step by step, you climb. At the top of these steps, as you crest a breathtaking sight, you recognize him immediately. The silvered armor, the enormous sword leaning against his knees, towering over you at an unimaginable height. On a throne sits Helm, the patron god of guardians. You come filled with questions, Jovis, and I can answer but a few. 3 I will give you and no more, so choose your words carefully.
Oh, I am not prepared for this at all.
I'm sorry, did you think this was gonna go all like you wanted?
No, I didn't expect everything to go as I wanted, but
My time is precious.
I am in awe in your presence, but my first question would be, are Drumboli's mom and Digby alive and well?
They live. It is fine and wondrous that you care so much about your friends. It is part of what makes you a good guardian. They live. And they are well on their paths. However, where these 2 paths lead, I cannot be certain.
And then I'll ask, we had 2 options of which way to go when leaving that burning city. Did we choose the correct direction?
The path you are on brings you closer to your goals, but also closer to danger. I believe you are strong enough, but do not take undue risks.
Alright, I'm a little torn on the last question, so I need to decide.
Roll dice.
Hmm?
You can roll dice.
No, I think Jovis's guilt over our biggest failings here in the Underdark is sort of weighing on him. So Jovis is going to ask, is there anything that we could have done to change the course of that ritual that brought that demon, that demogorgon, upon us?
That demon was there by happenstance. It was not summoned there initially. What you met there, this 2-headed monster, you have seen his influence all across the Underdark. Think, Jovis. Have you seen any forms of madness involving 2 heads recently? The thing that broke Menzoberranzan gave you but a glimpse of itself in that city.
And I will, sort of a little bit of a sigh of relief, but obviously the rest of the news is not good. But I will say thank you for not only your guidance and wisdom right now, but all of it that you have provided me my entire life. and I hope to continue serving you well and doing right by you and making you proud. As I take a knee and bow in front of him.
I do not envy you the road ahead, but still, you shall not walk it alone. However, a word of warning. A darkness is growing amongst your party, and I cannot foresee how it will affect your journey. Be vigilant. They will need your guidance and your help as you have needed mine. I have made you to be a leader amongst the faithful, and it is time you embrace this role. The images around you fade into a blinding gold light, and the rest of you watch in the boat as Jovis's wings suddenly spring to life behind him, and he floats like a golden angel suspended, if only for a few moments, above you, in blissful commune with his god. Then floats gently back to the ground. And Jovis, you return to yourself. You now have the inspiring leader feat.
All right.
And you can use your wings twice for a long rest.
Alright. I will,
Jovis, how do you feel?
I feel amazing and just as scared as ever, but inspired to continue on our journey, and I know that we are on the right path and we will change the world.
That term path keeps coming up a lot. It's as if we don't have much choice, but I think we still do.
The choices that we all make decide our path, but as for me, I know which way mine heads. Do you know which way yours does?
Well, I'm clear on mine. Where is yours heading, Jovis?
My path is to rid the world of evil, and I believe we have seen much of it. As it turns out, the Demogorgon that we saw, it was not caused by that ritual. That was just convenient timing.
How do you know this?
I'll sort of look over at Rohija as I say it, but I'll say, I just spoke with Helm. Helm himself, before my very eyes.
I too spoke with my deity. What did Helm say to you?
Well, Helm provided me an opportunity to ask questions. 3 questions. I can tell you, as I look towards Drumboli and PARREN, that both your mother and Digby are currently alive and well, and they are on whatever path they are meant to be on.
Thank you for asking about them. I received similar information from my new guidance.
And then,
PARREN, that's great about Digby. Is that news to you?
That that is news. I hope that he's safe, and my path brings him along mine.
And then I
What
asked
else
if
did
we
you
are
find out?
currently headed in the right direction of the 2 options we had leaving the city, if this one was the correct choice, and
That's good.
I was told that it will bring us closer to our goals. But there is also danger along the way, but hopefully we are strong enough to take on the path in front of us, but we also need to be wary of not taking on any undue risks. We cannot just charge forward as we may have in the past.
I will take this to heart.
Very well.
What else did you find out? Was that all of your questions?
Yes, my third question was if we could have stopped that demon from rising from the sea, but it happened long before we arrived, and it is not our fault.
Did you find anything out about the creature or evil that created such things?
The creature evil. Out of character, I'm a little confused as to what you're asking.
Like, did you ask him about the origin of the beast? I forgot it's called. What is it called?
Demogorgon.
The Demogorgon.
Like,
where did it come from?
Yeah.
If it was fated to be there, did you get any information on that?
It seems that whatever broke Menzoberran, that was just a glimpse of itself in that city that we saw there. And
Just a glimpse. What else could there be?
Shite, a fuck ton more, I guess. That's terrible.
there is a reason that I said I have a renewed fear within me when I came back, but at the same time, Helm does not give us more than we can handle, and in this instance I was explicitly told so, that as long as we look after ourselves, we will be able to handle this, and it is for us to change.
I can't believe we might be the only ones doing anything about this. Did anyone catch any indication that those that we serve have other heroes that are also along on this mission? I get the impression I am basically the only one for mine.
Eldith speaks up and she says, I don't believe I had any visions or anything, but I did see my father. I mean, not my father, my king, at the head of a great army made up of different peoples, and you were there. I don't know what it means, but whatever this is, my people will be involved, and so will many others.
The Church of Helm that Rahija and I came from, they would not be sending more people in until they hear back from us on our report with the map of the city, but I believe that, as Eldith said, we are potentially going to need to recruit more people, and we are our deities and our patrons' mouths, eyes, ears, everything down here.
So maybe there are no others yet. Maybe our next task is to bring those together, to coalesce an army, to fight this with us.
We've talked about this a bit, but tell me, if Menzoberran is the source of this evil, where many of these demons are coming from, and we're going to raise armies to come against them, how valuable would it be to have a map to and from Menzoberran and perhaps even of the outskirts?
Well, yes, I think that is a wise thing. Rohija, Jovis, you two are map makers.
I'll kind of look over the map that we got from the Flamekeepers, which is going to be significantly more detailed than anything that we have, and see if it has anything in the region.
So
Yeah,
the
that's a
map
good point.
should be in your journal on Roll20.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like that would be sufficiently mapped for the purposes of, like, armies and stuff? If we made some copies of that?
I think we need a map of the city. How do we get in? What's the perimeter look like?
What are the forces that they'll be fighting against?
Yarg.
I mean, they don't know whether to bring warriors or mages.
What I'm saying is I think, Rohija, we can help you and Jovis map the area.
Mm-hmm.
As I can update what I already have, I have quite a bit in my journal.
You were in the City of Spiders.
No, but I have quite a bit of the paths around, surrounding and exiting the city. All we would need is a map of the city, and the map that we need would be mostly complete.
Wow. So you have detailed maps to get to the Menzoberranzan.
At least the surrounding area. We met you all as you were fleeing the city, no?
No, we were leaving Velkenvelv.
Oh, okay.
Which is not horribly far.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware.
We had been traveling in the Underdark about a week or so before you had found us, and we did not go into major cities very often, but many of the surrounding paths I believe we have covered.
Well, speaking of where you're from, considering the blessings that everyone got, and again, I'm sorry mine didn't go according to plan, I'm curious, what does Helm stand for? What inspires you about him so that we may keep him in our hearts as we journey forward on this path?
Helm is a deity of protectors. He is a person who leads people who set themselves on a path to defend others. Jovis and I have both gone through life experiences that led to us wanting to be able to do more for the people that do not have power to protect themselves. And so that is what he stands for.
I think that those are admirable qualities. I'm happy to stand by them, even if I cannot fight in his name directly.
You be careful. I appreciate your respect for Helm, but he is not the deity that demands following. His followers are people who choose him, not the other way around. So need not feel like you are disrespecting him by not acknowledging him or fighting for him.
That is a comfort to hear. If anything, I am a bit jealous. My new patron Osam seems to not want me to pay homage to any other deities or of sorts, and I don't know what she stands for. What are her qualities and virtues? So I am left in a place of supporting somebody I have a lot of questions about. So I am interested to find out more. It's not like there are other followers I can go find. But I respect the following of Helm and the mission to protect others. There are many times I wish somebody had been there to protect me, and your mission is noble.
There's just one last thing that I still do not understand from this prayer. I feel like it was a successful one where we all have gained clarity and willpower, but me personally, I am left confused.
What are you feeling confused about, love?
Well,
Sounding like Eldith.
well, I seem to be getting a message or something. It's a second heartbeat in my chest.
What do you know about heartbeats? Do you know anybody whose heartbeat was really important to you?
I mean, there are people in my life who I want to be living, if that means anything.
Well, I heard you say that you had been ravaged by fire. Did you want to say any more about that?
Rahisha kind of just appreciates the
Gesture.
yeah. Sure.
Not if it makes you feel uncomfortable, but
No.
I realized I hardly know anything about you since we've been together for nigh on 2 weeks, 3 weeks. How long have we been together?
Yes.
I understand. I quite frankly have almost been desensitized to the event, merely because personally I go through it many times over. But In short, I was once the queen of a small tribe in the wilderness in a far land, and we had run-ins with a greedy tyrant of a leader that wanted more land. And as powerful of warriors as we were not well adjusted to the modern fighting tactics that a big, powerful army tends to use. And during a very dry season, we were attacked with fire and explosives that did not end well for my people.
Oh, what kind of people would do such a thing? Who did this to you, Rohija? Who?
I appreciate your passion, BONUMBESTIA, but that person it's not important anymore.
I'll sort of put my hand on BONUMBESTIA's shoulder and just remind her of the restraint that she has learned.
Well, I am sorry that happened to you and your people, Rohija. I know how that feels, how terrifying it is to watch those you love losing their life, having it drain out of them right in front of you, holding your own parents in your arms as they die.
Yes, loss is a very troubling thing. It can be very sad, but it can also be very empowering.
It's true. It gave me the power to wipe out an entire boat of orcs. But it was not a good power. I am hoping to learn from you this restraint and forgiveness that you exercise.
Yes, I know at times I may seem like a bloodthirsty menace, but...
Restraint!
You didn't murder an entire ship full of people, so...
She sure killed a lot of Daryl.
Who didn't?
Yes, I want you to know that I kill for a reason. Whether that reason is a good one is not always the case, but hands can often be forced. But I do not enjoy killing for sport. I never wanted to seem that way. I have honed my trade and I am very good at it, but that does not mean I always enjoy it. Seeing the life drained from those Darrow was not pleasuring to me, though it needed to happen.
It broke my heart to throw those fireballs at them. I really didn't want to murder those little guys.
Nor
They
did
just
I.
wouldn't leave us the fuck alone.
We tried to get through without hurting anyone. They wouldn't let us.
I'm sorry, I cut you off, please.
No, it's just I'm just trying to make a point that as angry and powerful I may seem, I certainly don't try to be overly aggressive.
Well, what about you, BONUMBESTIA? I haven't heard about where you... Oh, I'm sorry. Was that a good cutoff point for you, Rohija? Do you have more?
Yeah.
Okay. You seem to come from a race of dragons, but I don't know what that means and what dragons do outside of the Underdark. What does this mean for you? Have you always had the potential to grow this? Is your connection to the lineage that strong?
Oh, guys. I saw Bahamut. We had a whole conversation and everything.
That's crazy.
The Platinum Dragon himself, he arose from the darkness, and it was terrifying and grand and awesome.
Did he speak?
He did speak with me. He said that he would be watching me and he would be having our backs. He would help us through this. Maybe I'm taking some liberties, but he'll certainly be aware of the goings-ons. And I believe that the gift upon my back was his way of telling us that he was going to help us. Maybe not directly, but he will help us find some resources and tools that may help us on our journey to fuck up this abyss. I'm real sick of this guy's shit. Anyway, it was pretty amazing and terribly painful. I don't know if you've ever sprouted wings. I look at Jovis, but it fucking hurts.
No, this is... it must be different for you. I was born with these.
Lucky. Well, I like them, though. I've never gotten... I feel more empowered. You know, being down here with you guys, I've learned to climb like an expert. I can swim through these waters like a fish. And now I can fly like the birds and dragons of lore. This is pretty amazing. I feel like this has been a tough fought, but somewhat winning war for us. We have gained ground. We began this in a cage, having to fight for our lives in a literal fighting pit. This has been quite the journey.
Yes, I believe you will find, well, especially you will find being able to fly quite exhilarating. Especially when you are not having to do so to save your life for those around you.
Oh, we can do it for fun?
Well, I can. I don't know your abilities and limitations. You might want to do it over land first if you're a little less certain.
No, that's fine. She shoots up into the air.
Make a dexterity check.
Watch out the boat.
That is, let's see, like just plain dexterity straight up? Or do I get like...
Yeah,
either
just
one is
dexterity.
21.
Nice. Yeah, she shoots right up. Like she springs, goes in the air, and then opens the wings and starts floating back down like she's on a parachute.
That was a lot of fun.
And
Who wants a ride?
I'll just be like, I wasn't able to do that until I was 4.
I guess that's the benefit of the pain that I was caused by the late arrival of the wings.
And your warrior training, no doubt.
PARREN! Who is Digby? I'm so curious. Who is Digby and how do you know him? Why is he so important to you? And how did he do all this?
And I look around at all the frogs and greenery, which I'm assuming you're still here.
Yeah, you're still there.
Have we stopped in an island? Because I'm wanting to like get out and like.
Yeah, of course. This is just an image, so you're not in Gracklestugh anymore.
I'm gonna get out of the boat and just like feel the grass and like just take my shoes off and just feel it between my toes.
There's a willow, just a weeping willow, kind of where you are, and it seems to be kind of shimmering in the low light of the Underdark, phosphorescent glow.
Well, if we're on an island now, I'm gonna go ahead and like go
Very
off to
small
the side
island.
and undress and get in the water a little bit right at the edge and just kind of wash myself off and do a little flying about and rolling around in the grass and then washing myself off again.
Okay. There's those little the little fish that like eat the skin on your feet. There's some of those. They're like cleaning out your scales. PARREN has created quite a biome here.
I too start getting undressed and head towards the water, but I don't get in. I just kind of sit, staying a couple of feet back from the water's edge, and just kind of sit there and hug my knees in my underwear.
How close are we to a long rest?
That's up to you guys. I mean, you got a long rest sort of fakely through what's his name, but you guys have been going and awake for a long time.
That's a good point, PARREN.
If there's this nice little spot to hang out, yeah.
I mean, this spot was suddenly created. Are we confident it will remain?
You doubt Digby?
Wait,
I think
is
Digby will
Digby a
protect
deity?
I mean, Helm helped connect them. I believe it's fine. I'm gonna look around. Just do a little flyabout real quick. Do I see anything that looks dangerous?
I don't think Digby did this. I'm pretty sure this is Helm.
As you kind of take a look around, Perrin, and with your passive perception, you sort of get like this energy from the nature around you. It's been a long time since you've been in such a lush green place, especially having been in the Underdark for so long. And as you kind of run your fingers through this moss, this very soft moss that now covers, you realize these plants, they shouldn't grow together. They shouldn't even work in this environment, but here they are flourishing. And as you run your hand through this moss, you feel a very personal connection, and you realize this was you.
Oh.
Right. So, because I was blessed by Helm, it wasn't Digby.
So are we taking BONUMBESTIA, you take a flight around the area. You don't see anything dangerous, anything that might hurt you. It's fairly quiet, the city far behind you, and the only things you hear are just this random fauna that just popped up.
Yeah, what say you, Brother Jovis? Is your god the god of illusions and temporary things, or do you think this is something that will stay?
Not something that my god would usually do. He is an enforcer, he is a defender, he is not a creator. I believe that...
Well, maybe because I'm I create nature.
I believe that his power may have surged through you. And this may have been your way of showing his power.
Okay, I think we'll be good for a long rest. Let's keep the boat very nearby.
Yeah.
So, though, about Digby. Would you like to say more about him? Let us get to know you a little bit.
Maybe after I've taken a long rest.
All right. I'll take first watch. I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think I could sleep right now. I'll stay up with you.
All right. You guys settle down. You start to spread out your bedrolls, but then realize this moss that Perrin has created is softer than any bedroll, itchy and dirty from the Underdark that you might have. And the temperature is perfect. And so you guys start bedding down for the night.
Why, BONUMBESTIA? Why did I get a curse when everyone else got a blessing?
Tell me more about what happened.
All I know is that this Osam says that she doesn't want me to partake in any other ceremonies and any other rituals honoring any other gods or deities, that for right now I am hers.
She sounds very jealous.
She does. But maybe it's for a reason. Maybe it needs to be that way.
All right, well, why would somebody be jealous? Why would somebody insist that you're all theirs and nobody else's? You don't even get to look at another god.
Right, unless they're in it for the pleasure of being honored, which I don't even know if Osam is a god or it's just some being that can transfer some power. I don't know. I don't know anything about Osam. I can't say praise Osam and what she stands for, because all I know is she stands for helping me right now, but I need help more than anything. So how could I say no?
Maybe sometimes the best thing to do is to go along to get along, you know? Sometimes you just do what you need to in the moment. It sounds like she can help you find your mother and keep her safe, and does she hurt you? I mean...
Well, these bracelets, these wristlets, they bound very tight.
They got
were
very
squeezing
heavy.
me. Yes, they were dragging me to the bottom, and I couldn't get relief until I was in the water. But I find it hard to abandon Dilistray. I spent so much time praising her and standing for what she stands for, but I'd never heard her voice down here in all the dances that I've done, praising her name. She stands for getting anyone of any race to freedom from under oppression, from getting rid of the boundaries that separate those because of our skin color. And I have to put that aside because I need to find my mother, and I feel a sadness because of it. That's all. I know you're right to do what we must do, and all of your gods have given you good direction, and I think we're all supposed to be together and But right now, I think that might mean I must need to follow Assam.
Well, what do I know about Assam?
She is watery. She is scary. She knew my father and knows about my mother and knows more about my background than I do.
Maybe once you find your mother, you can get more information.
Yes, that's the plan. But I mean, even the waters don't run in Menzoberranzan anymore.
Well, that might be a good thing, though.
Could be.
I mean, if you want to find out information on this, let's just call her this deity, she whose name we will not say because she might be any fucking where.
Right.
Then maybe it would be good to not have her around when you get that information.
I don't know.
Hey, DM, what do I know about Assam? Besides what
I guess make a religion check. Well, make a history check.
Well, can I do that too? I never actually checked. I figured this was something made up nobody had ever heard of before.
Sure.
Maybe I know something.
All right, with that -1, I've got a 5.
Okay.
That name doesn't sound familiar at all to me.
What does that say?
19.
Oh, shit. In history, I've got a +3, I think. Yeah, 22. Like, at least give me a little something.
Yeah, no. So you have heard of, well, I mean, we're going to call them Jinn. You've heard of Jinn before.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I'd go for a race name.
Yeah, you've heard of a Jinn before. You know they normally tend to make deals.
Okay.
Water Jinns are particularly morally fluid and emotionally fluid. Their morality is defined a little bit differently than your own or than, other people's.
That's okay. I don't discriminate.
And they generally have a tendency to, how do I put this? Be very firm in their pursuit of their own interests.
Okay. Unflexible. So say uncompromising.
Yeah.
Rigid in their pursuits.
Yeah, like water just keeps hitting at something until it passes through even rock.
Sure. Okay. Well, then I'll tell BONUMBESTIA that if this is what I suspect it is, then it could stand for anything. It stands for itself.
Well, maybe it won't be a bad thing. It sounds like it's giving you some powers and it can help you right now. And I will help you if there is a problem that you cannot face alone with this being.
In some ways, it's not that different than the rest of us, is it? We all came from different places and pursue our own goals passionately with no regard to our own safety. We go after whatever we're going after. So for now, I'll consider Osam just one of the group. And as long as those directions are along with the group, we'll keep going along. And if it diverts, then I will have to talk to Osam and figure out what it is Osam really wants.
Mm-hmm.
But I know my mother's involved. So for right now, yes, I will be pursuing Osam's will.
I think right now that's the only choice you can make.
All right. And I'll just keep watch.
I dip my feet into the water and let those little fish eat the dirt off my scales and all my dead scales.
Your feet feel like you've had a pedicure. And there's little fireflies kind of lighting up in the area. And your watch finishes without problem or issue.
Then I go get a hell of a lot of sleep.
Right, I'll go pick up Eldith and Parren and let them know it's their turn for watch. Hey, Eldie.
All right. I'm coming. Anything bad happen?
No, it was wonderful. Probably the best place I've ever been. Ever. This is amazing.
Right. Well, you know what? I'll let Parren love. Do you want to do watch or do you want to sleep?
Yeah, I'll do watch with you.
All right. Come on, love.
Oh, you two love
sleep well, BONUMBESTIA. Maybe we haven't defined it yet. Maybe just no.
All right. Hey, no pressure. It's whatever you make of it.
I go to bed. I'm gonna kind
All right.
of find Rahija and Jovis and sort of lay near them.
The Holy Trinity lays next to each other. Anything you'd like to talk to Eldith about during your watch, Perrin? As you sit there on the grasses you created beneath the willow that you sprouted from the ground.
I'm sure Perrin and Eldith will just kind of BS.
You got it. You guys take turns like throwing knives between each other's fingers from one side to the other. And your watch goes without problem. And she goes and she wakes up Jovis and Rahija for the final watch as you guys lay down next to each other and get some more rest or whatever you'd like to do, Perrin.
Do we have anyone in our party that only needs 4 hours? Because otherwise, Rahija.
He's half elf.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's all right. I'll let you guys do 3. It's fine.
Okay.
It's mostly so you guys can talk because there's nothing bad's gonna happen to you.
Right.
All right, Rahija gets up and like she had been kind of like tossing and turning even throughout the time that she was sleeping.
And every time you turn, that heartbeat just moves to still be pointing in the right direction, in the same direction that you guys will continue on in the morning.
I'll say it's not a big island, but if you go to that side, and I point away from the direction that you're feeling the heartbeat, and say, and then move to that side, does the speed change at all?
I kind of just like look at him like, that's a good idea. So I try and like get closer to it and see if.
Are you helping her, Jovis, or is she doing this on her own?
Help her feel a heartbeat? Sure.
You can feel her heartbeat you can feel the secondary heartbeat strong enough that it's on the outside of her armor.
Okay, yeah, so I'll sort of put my hand on her armor and just sort of like run alongside her as we traverse this, 4-foot wide island or whatever it is.
It's big enough. It's about, let's say about 30 feet wide.
Okay.
All right, so both of you make this sort of walk back and forth. Both or one with advantage. It's up to you. Make perception checks.
You're probably way better at that than I am.
I'm a +0, so.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'll make one at advantage then.
All right.
Oh, the fuzzy dice. Did it roll twice? I think I might have just rolled once. Usually it rolled with advantage, but I guess I might have actually accidentally turned it off. Alright, that's a 16.
All right. So as you both are moving and very quietly listening to this heartbeat thrum from beneath your rib cage, as you move from the far side of the island to the nearer part, it's barely perceptible, because the difference is so subtle, but it does get just a fraction of a second faster.
Well,
it sounds like you have a beacon for something.
yes, I guess.
Did you experience anything else while you were in your vision?
Well, I did feel like almost like I was at home for a moment. My vision did not change much, but in spirit, it felt like I was right where I used to live.
Were there any familiar sounds or sights or people?
If they were faint. I almost felt like I heard my grandmother, my elder, my teacher. I feel like I might have heard her humming or singing or speaking, but it was so faint that I could not make it out exactly.
Well, I do not want to get your hopes up, but maybe it is some sort of spirit of your people. I know that you have been struggling a lot with meeting the stone giants and being reminded of your past, and
Honestly, just being around PARREN, it's nothing that he did personally, but I think that my grandmother was a druid. His powers remind me of her a lot.
well, I kind of like look around at everything that's PARREN has created and say, I am in awe of their abilities and look forward to finding out more about this heartbeat with you.
Yes, those who interact with nature are truly admirable. And I like you said, I did not want to get my hopes up, but I believe that my grandmother may have survived the fire. Most of my people died because they were trying to put out the fire, but my grandmother never would have fought anyways. She was very old, and I imagine that most of my people would have designated her to a safe place, but I just was too caught up in everything. I was not able to figure out where she was, and after I woke up, she was long gone.
But you said you heard Yaya's music? Did you hear anyone else or see anyone else?
I do not think so.
I sort of get like this look of hope and longing for a home that's not even mine across my face. And I don't want to say it out loud in case it's not what it is, but I think you could sort of read on my face that I'm thinking that this might be leading you back to Yaya.
Maybe. I hope to see her again. Just even getting another memory of her, it makes me feel good. Jovis, I wish I could have brought you back to my people. I think you would have loved them. Our culture, it's just so... There's nothing like it. I love being with you all, but my people, my tribe, it is something entirely on its own. The stone giants, as you said, they almost made me feel like I felt some of that, but in nature, they're entirely different still. I guess it might be the way around. My culture derives from theirs, but still they are not the same.
Well, speaking of your home, before I went to sleep, I spent a little bit of time walking around this island, and I found something that I wanted to show you. And I'll sort of walk you over to a different area of the island, and there is a yellow thorned rose bush just flourishing there. And I'll just kind of show it to you.
Oh my. This has to be a sign, Jovis.
I hope it's okay that I inserted an element in your environment. Alright, cool.
It breaks the whole campaign!
No, I love it.
I do not know what it is for, but I have good hopes going forward. This must be a sign. Yaya's voice, the flower of my people, it could only mean good things.
Agreed.
And as you're like kind of thinking about your people, Rohija, the heartbeat doesn't move, but for a few beats, it's almost as if it swells in size and then returns back to its dull.
Only time will tell. And I am glad that you are still along my side. I am sorry that everything that went down, it's got tricky, but we are alive. and together, and that means a lot still.
Yes. BONUMBESTIA said that you were stable, but I should have stayed with you, or at the very least checked on you myself.
I understand. In the heat of the moment, it is hard to really think about things like that. And as we all have said, I very well may have done the same thing. It is hard to tell. But the past is the past, and I just want to let you know that I hold no hard feelings.
Yeah, sort of on that, I'll just sort of just give Rohija a big, you know, a big hug, just sort of with the feeling of relief and sort of relaxation and just, you know, a lot of emotions coming out in this one action.
Rahija gives him like a soft kiss on the cheek and then picks up a rose from the bush and reaches in her bag and finds and digs through and finds a cloth with a rose inside of it. And she takes out the old one and kind of tosses it on the water and gives it its own little departure. And she
floats away gently in the direction that you will be heading in the morning.
Yep, and she takes the new one and replaces it. This is another part of our journey. Everything that we have done has led to this moment where we have so many branching paths and goals and hopes. It feels like a big milestone.
Yes, but as always, a journey that we shall take together.
Of course.
And as your watch starts to come to a close, you're getting ready. It's almost time to wake the others. Drumboli.
Yes.
You're suddenly awakened.
Okay, what's going on?
And you hear noises coming from the stone that was thrown your way.
Yeah, I've got my pack, I'm hugging it so no one will steal it, just out of habit. I kind of feel it vibrate. And I pull it out, see it kind of vibrating in my hands.
You pick up the sending stone and press OK. Press the green
yeah, I
check
don't know
mark.
what's happening. Is it making noise? Is that what's happening?
So it comes to life when you touch it, and you hear a feminine voice. Alistair, how goes the pursuit? Have you caught them yet? Our mistress grows impatient. She will soon come to collect.
They've gotten away momentarily, but we are close by. I reply, Alistair out.
That's it.
Okay. I put this back and I go back and I find who's awake and
Jovis and Rohija are currently awake.
Jovis, Rohija. I just sort of kind of talk to the boss of the drow that was hunting us.
Make a history check with advantage, Drumboli.
Okay. I'll borrow another dice because I still haven't pulled my dice out. All right. Hopefully not that one. All right. 14 plus 3, 17.
Okay. You do recognize the voice that came through now that you're thinking about it.
So you can hear the voice that's actually coming through.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's how the sending spell works, but only in your mind.
All right.
And it is the voice that you recognize from Velkenvelv.
Oh, yeah, like the mistress, the main mistress, the priestess.
Correct.
Okay.
I think her name was, I'm going to find her name right now, but yeah, that's who it is.
Yeah, I'm going to resist the temptation to ask her how her love life is going with the two guards. I don't know if her and the mage are that close that he might be just like looking to dish a little bit through a sending stone. So
Spill the tea, bitch.
how many words is that? Spill the tea, bitch. I can fit that in. Yeah, but for right now, I'll kind of catch on. Now that I know what this rock is, I knew there was a little bit for communication. Now I know Alistair's name. And recognize the voice. So I do my best impression back as Alistair, and not hearing any further communication. Yeah, I go check in with Jovis and Rohisia and say, I don't know why he would have done this, but the mage has given us a communication device with the main slaver, the priestess at Velkenvelv. For now, I don't know or think she suspects that I have this, but we'll see what happens.
Have you met this priestess before?
Just in the cages where we were, being driven. I believe I cleaned her quarters and arranged some of her things as part of our slave duty when we were in Velkenvelv. So I was a little familiar with her. When the time is right, I may reach out, but I didn't probe. But I can try and find out why the pursuit of us is just that important that they will never give up. It's something I haven't been able to sort out yet. It has something to do with fate and our home, and it has less and less to do with us being slaves, and there's something else. So maybe we can take your advice later on after you've had a chance to ruminate.
Well, neither of us were with you in that city, but we've certainly experienced...
Oh, thanks for the reminder, yeah.
But we've certainly experienced their struggle to get us, even Jovis and I, who...
So long story short, I have the other side of a radio that goes to the warden who is hunting us, and she doesn't know I have it. We'll talk later about how you think we might be able to use this for our advantage, but for right now, I'm just going to try to keep the secret and listen in on any messages that come in.
Well, are you able to respond when you get a message?
Seemingly? I talked my will back into the stone, and it felt like it vibrated in response. I feel like there was some communication back.
Wait, you spoke.
I mentioned... Yes.
We cannot assume that they do not know we have it at that point.
Perhaps not, but it was given to us by one of their own in the first place. So, I won't exactly fall for any easy traps that are laid for us, but the mage could also be subverting his own people. It is very Drow-like to try and overthrow those above you. Perhaps this is part of a plan he's got.
Agreed. We must carefully consider any plans laid out before us from this stone or the other people, the people on the other side.
As you advised last night, we can't just rush into things.
If you don't mind me asking, what is the power structure like in Drow society? Is it easy to overthrow?
It is remarkably chaotic. It is built around constant change and fluidity based on who has the favor of Lolth and who is strongest at the time. There are a distinct power structure. When I left, I believe there were upwards of 60 houses, different families that different nobility that were ranked, and everybody knows everyone else's rank. And the only way to move up is to take down the house above you by means of magic and slaves and workers. And so they crash their forces in the darkness against the other houses. And this is treachery, and houses are punished brutally for this kind of treachery unless they succeed. And if they succeed with no witnesses and take down the house, then they are congratulated on their swift victory and gain the ranking that they deserve and gain the favor of Lolth for their aggressiveness and their victory in the name of Lolth, and that favor is felt in the city. So the power structure changes as often as a house can make it change in order to move up. And then I believe the top 6 or 12 houses have a secret council where they make the most important decisions for the city. And so the clamor for that chamber to be on that council is immense. But none of that may even apply anymore if the city has broken.
We have heard the name Lolth before, but did not know much about her.
Let me tell you. No.
She sounds like
Fucking
the
lol.
opposite of Helm.
Drumboli triple snaps.
Fucking lol. The important thing about Lolth is that was what I said when we were chasing through the streets. I've told you a bit, Rohija, about that, when I was talking about the Drow have no chance. But Elistre is the daughter of Lolth, and Lolth was not always known as that. She had another name before that I can't recall, but as the daughter of Lolth, Elistre was, how should I say, framed for the killing of her own father, which Lolth provoked. Out of sheer humor, it seems, and afterwards was chased out of society and used what semblance she had to stay on the right of things and unify rather than divide those that she encountered on the surface. And since then, she has driven dark elves to come, not driven, but called through her dances to communicate. In fact, funny story, the way the father died, I believe, was a poisoned arrow made from the own poison of Elistre. And she was attacking someone in Nist, and I believe hit the father instead. It was a big ruse, and since then gave up ranged weapons and only fought with a sword then on. And so the most important message is unity, but I haven't heard from her, and I don't know how her presence is down here or in Minzoberonzen. So that's who Lolth is, one who would frame her own father for her husband's death for the joke of it.
Yes, we were hoping to maybe bring the voice forward of out of character. What was the other deity?
Elistre.
Elistre. To bring the voice forward of Elistre, but it seems that Osam does not want that to happen.
It is heavy in my mind with conflict. I follow both, but different parts of me follow the different ones of them. And for now, I can't seem to merge them. But it's the same with Helm. There are parts of Helm, the leadership that I want to see in myself. I am inspired by you, Jovis, and you, Rohija. The bravery you show and the way you pull people together. I've never had that. I just know how to attack a situation until it's dead or I have hidden. But you have inspired me, but I cannot pay the correct attention and the training that I want to become a leader myself while I have someone else holding me to such high standards. And right now, that is the most important thing, is finding my mother, and this Oman seems to know where that is.
Yes.
I always believe it's good to tackle things one at a time.
I'll be coming to you for advice then. This is complicated for me. So, how was your watch, everybody? Was it quiet, or was there any new developments?
Mostly quiet.
That's a relief.
And at this point, your watch has come to an end. Go ahead, Bill.
We did discover that this heartbeat sensation that Rohija has changes speed as she gets closer or further from whatever it is pointing us towards.
That's remarkable. Are you changing it, Rohija? Do you have any control?
Only where I move myself. If I turn my body one way, the heartbeat shifts entirely, always pointing towards the destination, like a compass.
Interesting. Well, it reminds me of crickets that chirp at certain you can tell the temperature based on how fast they chirp, but in this case the temperature seems to be something important to you.
I'm sort of going around waking people up as you're saying that, and I'm like, PARREN, is that true what he says about the crickets?
It could be.
Make a history check. No, it is.
It is. Well, everyone gather yourselves as you will. I need some time alone. I'll be back. And I'm going to go start a ritual to try and bring Drumboli back, since it's been so long since I've seen her.
You got it.
Don't forget about your ring.
Yeah, I'll do that after Drumboli. That's right. That's two 1 hour rituals, so I'm going to be busy for a little while.
Do you want to just do that on the boat?
Yeah, I'm gonna do Drupoli here though. That's more of a personal thing. I want to make sure she's okay, and I didn't even check on her before I went to sleep. So, I just want to make sure.
All right. And you all start to gather your things. You see the place is just as vibrant and verdant as when, it was first appeared, and it doesn't show any sign of slowing down.
I put my clothes back on.
Put your clothes back on. Drumboli, you go to a quiet corner kind of hidden by the willows, leaves and branches, and you go through your ritual to bring back Drupoli. What are you bringing her back as?
So Drupoli comes back. Before I see her, I hear her voice actually talking to me through my head, and she says, "What have you done to me?" I say, "Where are you? Where are you?" And I'm looking around for the owl that I was trying to bring in, and I can hear like a flapping around me, but I can't see it first. And eventually it kind of appears, and there's this gremlin sort of appearance to Drupoli now, as she's flapping her wings, but has sort of this humanoid body of long gangly fingers and very dark skin and kind of ragged, and the wings are sort of torn, and just says, "I was destroyed in that cavern. I went in there. I had no warning. I was ripped to shreds. I was contacted by somebody, some water being. She said I needed more power, needed to get stronger to help you, and she twisted me into this, and I don't know what to call myself." And she comes to grips with it. I'll load it to Discord, as she is now in Imp, for all intents and purposes.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh. Nice.
At least I'll try to. All right, I'll upload it in a minute.
Is that a character you like change your pact on level up? Oh,
no, I was always I didn't have a pact, but yeah, my 3rd level gave me Pact of the Chain.
Oh, you just recently took another Warlock level, gotcha.
Yep. Yeah, you got it, and just haven't had Drupoli since. Right. So after that, I'll come try and introduce Drupoli to the party, and I'll say, "This is not a beast. This is Drupoli. We are trying to figure out what's happening to her, but she is taking this form after being contacted by the Osam that has contacted me. It appears she is trying to help in all facets of my life."
Yes, we would recognize those eyes anywhere. Welcome back.
I think he looks kind of cute. I think she looks kind of cute.
Thank you. She kind of chirps up.
Forever, Dio and Drupoli would be confused.
There you go, finally. There we go.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah.
Poor
Not quite.
thing.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
It's all right. Hey, you got wings. I got some new wings too. You want to see them? I got a little upgrade myself.
I'll be happy to have some company up here in the air sometimes. Maybe I won't be the only one taking shots, as she looks at me a little bitterly.
Oof.
We couldn't hear her before. It's a little bit unsettling that we can hear her out loud now, but no offense, Drupoli.
No problem. I'm making the assumption I think imps can speak, but yeah,
I'm going to give it to you anyway. I don't care.
Language, common and infernal.
Yeah, they know common and infernal, and 11 in intelligence. So yes, much smarter now and much more aware of the danger that I've thrown her in to save my own ass.
Is this thing wearing a necklace of apples?
I think those are eyeballs.
Yeah, more like eyeballs, something underdarky, maybe mushrooms. I don't know. Whatever Osam wants, man.
Yellow roses
Yeah,
from
maybe
the rose bush.
Maybe it's some sort of token from Osam in order to give her these powers.
It's clams.
Yeah, the oyster pearls, maybe.
Yeah.
Speaking of apples, I'm gonna take a quick look while he's doing that ceremony, see if I can find any fresh fruits, vegetables, anything other than these mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a perception check or investigation if you'd like.
I assist him.
Sure, yeah. I'll even give you nature.
I don't know that I'm good. I'll use perception. I
Should
guess.
we take? Can we take the effects of a long rest?
Yes, you guys have the effects of a long rest. I'm going to keep going just because we don't have a whole lot left. So it's going to be a little shorter session. So.
I got a 19 on my perception.
That's not a D20, that's a D12. I got a 7.
All right. Rahija, you're kind of distracted. This thumping in your chest is kind of like you just keep being so aware of it, like a sore tooth. And but Jovis, you are able to find 2 rations worth of fresh fruit from Parren's creation. Hey, Morelli, sorry, can you mute yourselves or something? Oh no, never mind. It just went away.
I was like, we weren't making any noise.
No, it wasn't that. There was like a noise, a white noise.
Okay.
But it's all good now.
Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone now.
Just the settings a little bit.
Did he? So he only found 2 rations. I'm gonna look around too. I want to see if I can find anything.
Okay, I'll give you nature. I'll give you investigation or perception.
All right. Well, I got a 3, so I don't think anything's gonna matter much. Perception 8.
Sure, you find a couple apples. Snacks.
I'm gonna take mine back to the boat.
Okay.
Start prepping the boat, getting ready to launch everyone.
Got it. So everybody starts to get ready. Parren and Eldith get their gear together. Everyone else is starting to prep. You guys get back into the boats.
And then kind of before I step in, I'll kind of dip a finger in the water just to be like, do you need me?
The water is cool.
And then step into the boat. I'll try and do it casually.
Just super cash boat.
Just casually high five the water before my trip.
All right. You guys all load up in your various boats. And Drumboli kind of perched on the front like a, what are those called?
Yeah, like the front of a ship, like the mermaid.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys begin your journey down this darkened crevasse. And as you begin, go ahead. Sorry.
So as we push off from the island, I'm gonna take a few minutes to cut up the fresh fruit and 10 minutes to be a little more specific, and just kind of tell everyone that we have done this before on the water and we will do this again, and start handing out bits of the rations to each person, so that everyone can enjoy the fresh fruits together.
Please.
Add my 2 apples to what he's doing.
Thank you for finding these. It's so delicious. So different than what we were eating before.
And basically just my speeches, and just when I talk, it almost sounds more like a speech, which is not anything that I had necessarily practiced. It just kind of is now. So it's going to be the first time I have used this inspiring leader ability. So up to 6 allies, including myself, that can see or hear me within 30 feet will gain 11 temporary hit points. So, just to be able to do it, let's go ahead and kick things off.
All right.
You have emboldened us, our leader.
Yeah, I'm ready for this day. It's a bones day.
And that's once per short rest. That's actually, really...
Yeah.
Really cool.
I need it. It's so bad. Just a heads up, taking watch up front, Drumboli now has 120 feet of dark vision and also has devil's sight, so they can see through magical darkness.
You got it.
Nice.
All right. So as you guys begin to go down this this crevasse, it's a fairly monotonous first day. Rohija, you spend most of the day kind of looking over the map and sort of copying notes into your journal. And you realize kind of, drawing the line through the different caverns you're going to have to be going through. It's probably going to be about a 3-week journey to Blingdenstone. So you guys, now you may find rest stops along the way. But no other major cities or locations in between here and there. So you're in for quite a lengthy journey on the water.
And I didn't bring any cards.
And but the first day goes by fairly uneventfully. The further along that you move, Rohisha, you start to notice even more visibly that this heartbeat is very slowly starting to get faster. At the end of the first day, you do not find any particular place to stop along the way. It has been mostly just this tight crevasse that the river has cut through. It has not forked yet. It has been very gentle traveling. Very few minor islands, but nothing more than two people could stand on. And you continue on. Do you guys take a rest in the boat, I would assume, because you don't have any other options?
Yeah, outside of the nice garden. I don't want to get out of this boat if I have to.
I'll fish if I gotta.
I'll take dips in the water, but I don't even want to sleep in there.
I think we can, when I'm gonna get ready to take my rest, I'm actually gonna take the second boat to be able to actually stretch out a bit,
Yeah, we should have the sleeping boat, just take cycles.
Yes,
6 hours
sleeping as I look towards Parren and Eldith.
Well, at least if they take theirs together, then it frees up another 6 hours for everybody else. So.
Yes.
I need to rebind my ring, so I get out into the water and I sort of swim backwards on my back and minor illusion my mother above me in front of my face and sort of focus on it as the target of my mission, keeping Osam in mind all around me. And after an hour, I'm granted the ring back around my finger that was destroyed.
It does appear you spend most of the time kind of with your head slightly just under the water,
right,
as you can breathe easily under it. And through this haze of just a thin sheet of water above your eyes, you can see the shimmering image of your mom just slightly distorted, as though she's almost there, but just out of reach.
Yeah, the plane of water is just like a mirror that I can see her right on the other side of. And I'm closer than I've been for decades, for 50 years since I've been missing her.
And as you guys head into the night, the journey continues. Guys sleep in your various shifts. The following day, say probably around midday, at this point, Rohisha, when you wake up, especially that morning, the heartbeat is significantly faster. And as you wake up and you kind of spend the first few hours of the day, it's getting even faster now. And as you kind of head into what you would call an evening the next day, even though it's just completely dark with a few of these phosphorescent fungi every now and then giving you some light, you start to see, especially DRUMBOLI up ahead, since she's keeping watch. She kind of calls on you, DRUMBOLI, and says, split in the road up ahead.
Ooh, bring her a broadside. Let's slow her down. We have a decision to make. Let's keep it down, everyone. These are the types of places ambushes happen.
So you guys are stealthing forward?
Yeah, that's my advice. Rohisha and BONUMBESTIA, you're probably piloting.
That would make sense.
No, so yeah, let's keep it down. Which way do we want to go? Let's consult the map. Rohisha, JOVIS, we need you. Let's take a look at the map. Which way should we go?
As we approach this fork, how wide is the area that we're in?
So the area is about the same size that you guys have been traveling in, which I'd say is probably about 100 feet of river with sheer rock faces on either side stretching into what you cannot see above you. It has been fairly similar the entire way here. The split occurs as a Y fork, and you're at the base of it. And kind of towards the left is still a wide, I'd say probably about 60-foot branch of the river, same sort of tall rocks on either side. And then to your right is, especially DRUMBOLI catches this, but you also, DRUMBOLI, and everybody who has further dark vision, it looks rockier It looks like there are various rapids in the way, and as you kind of follow up, instead of these smooth walls on either side, there are rocks that are just kind of jutting precariously balanced upward above where you would be traveling.
Ooh. Choices.
Is the water fairly still, or is it flowing, or what's the water?
It's flowing. The river continues.
I hear the
You guys are Rohija and BONUMBESTIA are kind of fighting against the current right now to hold you still while you make your decision.
I'll look at Rohija and say, which direction are you feeling?
All right. I kind of, with one hand, like fight the current with my arm, and then I briefly try to put my hand on my chest and feel the heartbeat.
I'm gonna let you guess which direction it points you in. But however, taking a look at your maps, you do notice that towards the left is a clearer path towards Blingenstone, but the heartbeat is beating rapidly and almost physically pulling you in the other direction.
Clearer path is in fewer zigzags.
It's mapped on the map.
Got it.
This thing on the right has sort of just
Better
confusing. Yeah.
Who wants some fun? Path less traveled, right?
Well,
I would usually recommend that we take the path that is safer, but I cannot ignore this calling.
To quote someone, taking the road less traveled might make all the difference. So,
and I cannot ignore that Helm told us not to take risks that were unnecessary. If these two end up in the same place.
So the safe route also looks like it's a clearer route, or is also the way Rohija's heart is pulling?
No,
it's opposite.
Oh,
we got to go with the heart. We got to go with the heart.
But they end up in the same place, do they not?
Well, all I know is Osam told me that my friends were also following to the same place and the same fate and same destination, and I feel destiny has had a hand in this. And if the heart is saying one way, then Rohija, if you're following it, then I'm following you.
If that heart is drawing her towards something that's important to her, I think we should follow it. But we can go slow.
And map
or
makers
fast.
have been known to be wrong.
I mean, there's fucking rocks hanging right over our heads right up there. I don't fucking think it's a fucking map, yo.
Yeah.
Yarg.
Jovis, you know all very well that Helm would never guide me like this without a reason. He is not the god that sends convoluted messages for no reason.
Yes, and his message to not take unneeded risks was very clear.
Yes, but this beat is very clearly guiding me into the right. There is no question.
I understand, and I will follow you. I just want to
Jovis, where you see risk, I see a map that needs to be drawn.
That's actually a really good point too,
Who's
Yarg.
going to be drawing? We're all going to be all oars in the water.
You'll be drawing.
Well, your memory. You have a good memory, right?
Out of character or in character?
In Jovis, not Doug.
Doug has notes.
That's right.
He's got a great memory.
Doug has a perfect memory.
Memory is what you write down. Fuck what you can remember.
All right.
I mean, to be fair, Rohija's made a pretty decent map so far, and we've spent half our time in the Underdark fighting shit, so...
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be like a perfect, detailed map, but it's good enough to show direction.
But that's the point, right? Even a map with a clear route isn't a perfectly detailed map. We don't know what's on that clear route. And we don't know what's on the unclear route. We just know the mapped route versus the unmapped route.
Alright, so we head off to the right.
Upward! Yes, I love danger.
How are you guys positioning yourselves in the boat?
All right,
In the boats.
I'll take the front right side.
Yeah, I feel like I would be in the back, sort of facing the opposite way.
Are you all staying in one boat or are you separating?
I'm in the
Probably
main
good
boat.
to stay in one boat.
I think we should stay together.
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna be in the center.
Okay.
Just so that everyone is always within 10 feet of me.
Nice.
Got it.
And I'm probably gonna. Should me and BONUMBESTIA be like catty cornered, or should we be right next to each other?
Well, for good maneuvering, I'd say catty corner.
Yeah.
One in the front left, one in the back right, something like that.
Yeah, I'm on the front right, so
I'll be the back left.
Yeah.
Got it. So what we're going to do here to get through this is we're going to do a skill challenge.
Wonderful.
As you guys face several obstacles heading into this these rapids. So you guys, having come to the conclusion, everybody takes a deep breath and you turn towards this clearly more dangerous path. Got the idea from Beauty and the Beast. And you start to head into what is now becoming rapids. There are large, jagged rocks kind of cutting through this river. The speed seems to be going. There is a little bit of an elevation. It seems like gravity is pulling the water even lower. Like I said, above you, these giant boulders hang precariously, ready at even a breath's notice to drop into the water on top of you. So, go ahead.
I will cast Bless on Rohija, BONUMBESTIA, and let's go with PARREN. Why not? So you will be able to
PARREN,
add
you're
D4
blessed. You can add a D4.
to
So everyone Helm likes.
or save.
Okay.
I mean, Helm likes everyone. You're the one with the deity that's selective.
Can I get a quick rundown of the hazards again? There was rocks, or were they just for flavor? I just want to know what the actual hazards were. There were rocks waiting to fall up ahead. There's rapids.
Yeah.
Yes.
What else?
That's basically, those are basically, I mean, we're going to do different obstacles. So,
Yeah.
which I'm
Okay,
coming up with
following.
on the spot. So,
Love it.
If you had said dragon in the middle, I just wanted to make sure I heard that.
yes, and random water dragon.
Tiamat.
Tiamat just shows the fuck up. All right. So as Rohija and BONUMBESTIA are maneuvering kind of around these jagged rocks, you got a pretty good vision of them. And the first thing that happens is you can see coming up it's like you have a split-second decision to make. You can see that there is a rock just below the water surface that is about to strike the bottom of your boat. Whoever wants to do whatever is welcome to do so, and we will make a roll. So how you use your different skills to help out. If you don't want to help in this one, that's fine. It's up to you.
I am going to just shout out, "Go right!" And use my persuasion to convince everyone to work in unison.
Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna use Drumboli's senses. So I'm gonna be all in like meditation mode to try and give us a better awareness what's coming up ahead, since I've got the farthest dark vision.
Okay, so you're doing perception.
Yeah. I'll do and hopefully catching things before other people would because of the range. I don't have a great perception, but I've got a good range.
Okay. JOVIS, go ahead and make your persuasion. Drumboli, make your perception. Anybody else want to help as this rock is right below the surface?
I stick my oar in and I try to slow us down as I maneuver us towards the right.
Okay, that's going to be athletics. PARREN?
So PARREN's proficient, so he can assist with perceiving.
Okay, so you and Drumboli is inside Drumboli's eyes. You're looking around all of the boats. You actually are also keeping a close watch on the boulders up ahead using your stone's cunning and just kind of understanding what looks most dangerous up above. Go ahead and make those rolls. Rohija, you doing something?
I'll probably also use athletics to try and, while BONUMBESTIA is slowing down and guiding, I'm gonna rapid, try and turn us.
You're gonna Tokyo drift the boat. Got it. Go
Yep.
ahead and make an athletics check.
29.
Nice.
14 on the perception.
Okay.
Was
Oh,
that
man, that's
with
awesome.
Advantage from parents' help.
Yeah, with advantage.
All right, 26 on the persuasion.
Nice.
26 on my athletics.
Oh man, easily. Rohija and BONUMBESTIA dig their oars into the water. The boat swings violently sideways as Jovis pointed towards the right. DRUMBOLI and PARREN keeping an eye on the next danger coming up ahead. And PARREN, you notice it first as you guys are still rushing down these rapids, growing ever faster. Rohija, the heartbeat begins to thrum so quickly; it's starting to catch in your breath. And as you guys are moving forward through the water, you see PARREN point up there as one of the boulders dislodges and starts tumbling down ahead of you. You have maybe just enough time to get under it and get to the other side.
All forward! And I'm gonna also be digging my thing in as I yell it.
All right.
My oar goes in the water and I start going as fast as I can.
All right. We're going to change things up just a little bit. Let's do a performance check for you, Jovis, to see how you're managing between, pointing directions and doing the task that you're doing.
23.
Very nice. BONUMBESTIA. I want to do something con related, but I don't think there's
How
no
quickly I
con
can
skills.
transition.
Yeah, there's no.
Slowing us down and speeding us up.
The boulder's pretty close to us, like within 60.
Maybe that's a dexterity thing.
The boulder's probably within 60 feet, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
You know what? Go ahead and make an insight check, BONUMBESTIA, to see if you can gauge how quickly you need to move as opposed to how dangerous the rapids are, as opposed to how quickly the boulder is falling.
Yeah, what did you say?
Insight.
Insight check. Okay. Do I still have bless, or did I just use it?
Mhm.
I only get it once.
No,
Every
he
time.
concentrates on it. Yeah, you keep it.
Oh, I get it every time. Rockin'.
well as
Technically,
concentration
it's,
right?
saving throws. I don't
Right.
know if we want.
Oh,
These
just-
are not saving throws.
Check.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Is it attack rolls and saving throws?
Yeah.
well, then mine was -4 last time, so it was only a 25.
Oh no.
Did I make it still? I
The
don't
Better
DC
retcon
is
that.
13.
If
know.
I,
17.
You got it.
if
go
I can
ahead.
say, while everyone's trying to avoid the boulder, I'm going to be coming out of my perception of Drupoli and casting Fairy Fire on it. Since it works on objects as well as creatures, it'll make a very clear outline of exactly where we need to avoid, since it's very dark down here.
Beautiful. Make an Arcana check.
Sure. Okay, 16.
16 is plenty. So Drumboli's hand shoots forward. This boulder suddenly lights up with this, what do we say?
Purple.
Like a dark purple, right? Yeah,
Definitely.
like a dark,
Purple swirls and
deep
stuff.
purple, almost like colors on top of oil slick.
It used to be
and it
probably
lines
moons,
up.
but it's probably waves now.
And BONUMBESTIA quickly gauges the how quickly she needs to move. Rohija, were you doing something?
Probably just. Yeah, probably just. I don't know, I'm half tempted to use my circlet to blast it out of the way, but
That's totally up to you, man.
What do you have those things for?
yeah. All right, I'm gonna kind of using the bright light that came off of it. I'm gonna try and quickly determine a spot on the boulder that I could shoot it to where it would kind of be redirected to a different.
Nice. Let's say an investigation check so you can correctly find. You're doing the math.
Right. All right. Okay, I have a -1 that I rolled a 17, so that's 16.
Beautiful. So as BONUMBESTIA is paddling quickly through these rapids, DRUMBOLI lights the boulder with the colors. JOVIS is driving you forward, and Rohija stands, and you see her circlet around her head that looks almost like gilded spider silk light up and shoot a beam forward. It cracks the side of the stone, sort of pushing it onto his side. Anything you wanted to do, PARREN, for this round?
No.
You got it. You're still keeping a watch up ahead, making sure nothing else comes falling on top of everyone. And you guys barely skirt. The boulder hits directly behind you. There's a swell of water as you guys are pushed forward into these rapids. And at this point, up ahead, both Drupoli, who is watching, and PARREN, who is also keeping an eye out, starts to see that the waters, instead of a normal set of rapids, is beginning to curl in on itself and drain downwards.
Like a whirlpool?
Yep.
Oh man, we saw some of those by Niagara Falls. Remember that boat trip, Theo? Those things are sick looking.
What are you guys doing?
Didn't we already also go down one when trying to escape the Dark Elves?
That was a waterfall.
That was a waterfall, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to tell everyone, stick to the right far edge, and as soon as we get halfway, just as much power as you can. We got to get to the other side.
All right. What's everybody do? So we'll make that another persuasion check for you.
Since I'm not strong, can I reach my hand into the water and ask for just a little bit of a push? Just a little to the right, Osam, please.
Sure, make a
religion,
I'll say
maybe?
either Arcana or religion. It's up to you.
All right, cool.
I like it.
Oh, a 1 and a 9. I don't know why I rolled with advantage. Neither one of those fucking matter. I'm just used to rolling with advantage. All right, 10 for that.
Okay. Anybody else?
That's my contribution. Enjoy.
I'm gonna
roll
run
was a 24, by the way.
Got it.
left side of the boat, and I'm gonna really try and like push us away from the left towards the right. Can my oar reach the wall?
Not yet.
Okay. So I'm gonna stay on the left side to try and keep pushing us towards the right.
Athletics. Go ahead, Rohija or PARREN.
I'm gonna kind of put down my oar and then take out my pike, which is a very lengthy reach weapon. And instead of trying to row, I'm gonna, keep on pushing with the butt end of my pike.
You got it. Like in Venice, you start to press down into the silt, which is not very far below you as you're trying to work this boat around. Go ahead and do athletics as well. What was it, BONUMBESTIA?
9.
9, okay.
To narrate my own failure a little bit, I think Osam probably has been hearing all of my wishy-washy talk and it's probably like, I ain't helping you out at all right now.
Actually, what you hear burbling in your ear is, you're going the right way.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, I have something at least to contribute once we're out of Death's way.
Rohija?
I rolled a 11.
All right.
Not a great round.
That's all right. This one might be tough.
PARREN, anything?
Come on, Perrin. Save us.
Well, I am proficient in athletics, so I could give somebody advantage.
Sure. How about you give... Well, actually, you could grab the oar yourself and try and steer. Go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Okay.
Do it, Perrin. I'm not feeling anything from the water.
That's a dirty 20.
Nice.
Very nice. All right. However, that was only 2 successes. Doesn't matter, though. You guys start to drift slightly towards the right as you were hoping. Let's see if Eldith... Yeah, okay. Eldith fires and ties a rope around, fires an arrow at the wall, and starts to pull
towards the wall as much as she can using her strength. You guys start to approach the wall, and as you do, PARREN and anybody else who is watching realizes this is where the cavern ends. There is no beyond this whirlpool. The rope that Eldith was holding snaps. The arrow comes flying backwards. She pulls the rope back in. You guys are starting to get pulled down into this whirlpool. You are dragged down into its center. Boats, all of the items that you own, everything crashing together. And you get sucked down into the center. Water invades all of your lungs. DRUMBOLI, you're the only one who can breathe right now. And as you get sucked down into the darkness of this lake, you start to go and travel down a tunnel of water, barely able to breathe. The boats somehow still intact as they rush like you're on a massive water slide, taking in water. Eventually, the tunnel dead ends, and you all clatter on top of each other in a small pool. The boat miraculously intact.
Oh.
This pool has only one shore.
Oh.
On the farther end of this cavern, a very small cavern. Rohija, as you come out of the water spewing, your second heartbeat so fast, it's causing you chest pains. It's pulling you forward. What do you do?
I just continue to follow it.
Yeah.
As you all approach the shore, swimming, pulling the boats behind you, there are no distinguishing marks or anything of particular note. Finally coming up on the show, some of you coughing out mouthfuls of water. Rohija stands, unaffected by it like most of the others are. She walks forward as though compelled, her hand outstretched. Rohija, the heartbeat moves to your fingertips, pulsing towards a dusty indentation in the rock wall ahead of you. What do you want to do?
I take not my pike, not my elegant, tribal pike, but I find my long sword that I haven't used much of late, and just start taking the hilt and just smashing and trying to. Actually, not a long sword. My hand axe, that'd be more efficient. I take a hand axe and start chopping at and trying to smash the rock in front of me.
So as you start to attack at the rock, part of it scrapes across this dusty indentation that your hand is nearly reaching out for. It's nearly stopping you from controlling your hand axe because it's pulling so hard. And some of the dust brushes away. The heartbeat is so rapid now, it's almost like a hum. And there, below the hilt of your hand axe, on the wall, a sight you cannot explain. Here, in the Underdark, lost beneath the catacombs of the world, embedded in the cavern wall of this lost cave, is a single golden rose. And that's where we're going to end our session.
What does that mean, guys? What does that mean?
Is it the rose that she threw into the water? That's what I need to ask.
It is gilded as though in gold.
All right, well,
Oh
figure out
my
what
goodness.
that means next session.
Oh, what a way to end, guys.
Yeah, that was awesome. Rohija, what does it mean?
I wish I knew. I mean, this is my personal symbol, so definitely it's something tied to me, or at least my people.
All right, well, let's get there in a less dramatic way next time. Yeah,
Those were islands you made for us to sleep on.
and gave us apples.
So did Eldith's bow sort of save us? If it wasn't the end of the cavern, or we were going down it either way. I get that.
You were going down it either way, but yes, she managed to pull you towards the right where you guys were entering. You might have gotten scraped along the rocks if she hadn't succeeded, taken some damage to your boats.
You're like, well, actually, Eldith still has to go. Maybe she'll save him or whatever.
Maybe that'll be 3. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh man, It was a good session. It was a lot of good roleplay.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Hey, we got a lot off our chests.
and somehow discovered new and interesting problems.
But I got wings.
You guys may have gotten a lot off your chest, but now I found like something in my chest.
Well, it's in your fingertip now, but. And like, I really want to talk to people about, Drumboli's whole situation, what Helm said, but not around any source of water, which we're going to be around for a long, long time. So, be holding on to that one until I probably forget out of character.
This is the one
Or write
thing
me
about
some notes at night.
This is the one thing about having 2 campaigns that like sucks the most is like the suspense.
The cliffhangers.
2 weeks to get the next installation.
Well, we're not even doing this in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we're doing Alex's one-shot, I believe,
one-shot.
if you're going to be ready for that, Alex.
Excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
fun.
I'm excited.
Start
Gonna make
getting
my
us deep.
metal bard.
I might
So-
use my storm sorceress. I haven't used her in a long time.
So for anyone listening to recordings or watching it on YouTube or whatever, 2 weeks from today is the 18th, so that's when we will be doing that.
Is there a
and
name for the one shot?
What's that?
Is there a name for the one shot?
There is. The name that is like on the PDF, I feel like is a little bit of a spoiler. So
I don't need a name.
I'll try and come up with one that doesn't quite spoil it.
Is there a theme? Is there a theme? I'm thinking about using a homebrew fighter.
Not really. You guys are really just adventurers. I mean, you guys already are a member of an existing adventuring group, so
Cool.
kind of keep that in mind when creating your character. But
What if we're just
I mean-
all human farmers? Just
then go for
We're
it.
all just NPCs.
As long as you can hold your own in a fight, then that's what matters.
What level is it?
Level 5.
Cool.
Best
I know
level.
it's not. I know it's not the most power hungry level, but you get enough.
No,
You're
it's all
just
right. I'm just gonna keep replaying on the shelf until we hit level 8 on some one shot. I don't want to go
Right.
backwards.
yeah, I feel like level
the
5
Fun Master.
enough stuff comes online to where you can at least feel like you're playing your character. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that. I did one. I'm doing one with my cousins right now, and we're doing level 3. And I did it to keep it a little simple for myself, but yeah, I think level 5 is really more interesting for your character.
right? Spellcasters get their 3rd level spells.
Yeah.
Martial classes
Second
get
attack.
extra attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go martial to get a little bit of a break from all this spell casting in these 2 campaigns.
But yeah, feel free to use any homebrew. I feel like it'd be kind of hypocritical if I said no homebrew. Being the person that almost always uses homebrew. But of course, this is my first time actually DMing, so try and
Yep.
keep it.
It's hilarious.
Don't
Oh,
worry, it's terrifying and fun.
And nothing's gonna go to plan, and it's gonna turn out great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Improv. It's fine.
I mean,
And-
luckily, they're really. The person that wrote this adventure did a really good job at saying, this is what eventually is going to happen. Whatever happens in between is not really that important.
Yeah.
There we go.
tells
So
you
we
where
can
the
chase
sticking
chickens
points
for a
are.
while.
Yeah, it says this is something that should happen. If the players want to do this, they can do that. If you want to throw some wrenches in their plan, you can do that too. Eventually, it all is gonna lead to this. But
Yeah.
Yeah, if they want to go flirt with some tabaxis in the nightclub and do some opium, fine, whatever.
Oh God, I forgot we did opium.
I really wish we had recorded that. That was so much fun, that one shot.
And we rode elephants while on
Yeah.
opium.
And Alex, it's totally okay to put us on a railroad for a one shot. That's what one shots are. You
Yeah.
can't not railroad. Don't worry about player agency. Just get us to the fun stuff.
Or let us chase chickens, whatever,
That is the fun. Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a clear goal, so it's not like your guys are just wandering blindly.
You don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair
Have you
enough.
met players?
I mean, we may wander blindly for like a few minutes and then move on to the goal.
We're
But
good at following hooks.
We're gonna spend 40 minutes on opening a door, my man.
It's gonna be unlocked with
Nobody
zero
tried pulling it. Are you kidding? me?
The great bane of all D&D parties.
you're gonna
doors.
describe this plain wooden door with a regular knob on it, and we're gonna be like, any runes around it? What's going on?
I cast detect
I
magic.
don't trust this door.
I spend all my spell slots identifying this door.
I'm gonna look under the bottom of the door and see if I can see anything on the other side of the door.
I construct a mirror that goes under the door.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time on Roll20 just trying to like mess with maps. There is so much respect to be had for you guys who can like manage to make the maps look so elegant and like
Oh,
just
everything
like
is stolen. I don't know about Devin, but mine's
What,
all
like-
stolen.
I don't
it's
make
not like making the map, but it's just positioning it on the Roll20 screen with things like the scaling is correct and like it all fits well.
it's a pain.
Yeah.
That's why I always like going gridless now and just putting the grid on a gridless map so nothing has to match up.
Yeah, that's what I tried to do. I hope you guys don't mind. Like one of the maps, like you can like faintly see a grid in the background, and it does not match
be
up at
fine.
all.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
all
I'm
good.
sure we're gonna be fine. That's happened to me a bunch of times on one shots and stuff.
Yep. And I'm sure we're going to be like, I can't see anything for 15 minutes. It happens for everybody.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be Roll20 problems. Just have your drinks ready.
And by the way, I'm just disappointed a little bit that you're not using Foundry. I think, Alex, you were the one who asked me, like, hey, you should check out Foundry. I hear it's awesome.
I didn't know I could. Like, can I use you, or do I have to like do I have to pay for my own membership?
No, that's a good point. No, it's not a membership. It's a one-time thing that you buy, and it's supported from there on. So, no, you're probably right. Until you're more invested, free Roll20 is probably better.
Gotcha.
Oh man,
Yeah, unless
Foundry
you
is
could give 'em-
overwhelming.
Unless you give them
Not
access
so
to set
bad,
something
man.
up on yours.
If you
but
put your files in the right directories, like just the right file folder locations, everything else is user-friendly. That's my input. Almost every problem everybody has is you didn't put your stuff in the right place.
I was telling Adam in our other campaign, because we're using Foundry on that one, and he's having the same problem where the lights go out at the top of every round. Have you figured that out yet?
Yeah, I can fix that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
send
it's
me
part
a
of the
message
daylight
and I'll
thing,
send it to
because we
him.
did that. Remember that was happening?
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, this happened to us, and I don't know what he did, so I'm going to find out for you.
Yeah. I'll send you a little message if you remind me
Yeah.
tomorrow, and I'll send a couple screenshots of what I did.
Cool. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for an awesome session.
Thank you.
for an
I have
awesome
a lot of
session.
That's fun.
planning to do. I'm glad you guys had some time to work out your personal issues. on
Finally
the
get to
boat.
know each other. We literally hadn't gotten to know each other since
You
we-
guys have been running like every second.
We haven't gotten a chance to sit down and shoot the shit. Like,
Well, and
how'd your parents die?
when we were on the dark the first time, none of us even really knew how to play D&D except for those guys. At least us three. We were like 6 sessions into D&D basically.
Ever. Yeah.
well, and like Alex was asking me like, how many days has it been like in the game? So like I went and searched the notes because I put long rest and short rest. I'm pretty consistent about putting that in the notes, and we have had 6 long rests, like official
one
long
week.
rests.
Holy crap.
Well, there have been times though where we just
Well, but there was like the time on the boat that took longer.
Yeah, so 6 long rests and 7 days
It was
on
like
the boat.
2 or 3 weeks on Dark Lake.
It was 7 days is what I've got in the notes.
7 days? Okay.
So we
Yeah.
have known each other for about 2 weeks at this point.
Isn't it crazy how much it matches with Strahd in so many different weird ways?
but now we've just spent another 3 weeks together. So
Well, not just. You're not there yet. You're
We
literally
just-
at the
we just
beginning
hit
of
the-
your journey.
oh, okay.
This is like the beginning. We're like still in water. We're just down a
how
world.
long have we been on the water then? Just like one day?
2 days.
2 days? 2 days. Okay.
Yeah, this is the second day, midday.
She was like 21 days later.
We're here. It's good.
This is the third day because
We will do a little bit of a time jump. We'll do some skill checks. I mean, some random encounters, but we're also going to do a little bit of a time jump.
Yeah, I better have some combat so I can use my swimming while it matters before it hit dry land.
Well, you're in a cave with a mysterious doors or, thing.
Door.
Yeah.
It's spoiled now.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to give you door at the end.
I thought it had a thumbprint sensor. I was like, why isn't he putting his thumbprint up there?
Well, you said like your finger is drawn to an indentation on the door, and then he's like, "I'm gonna hack at it with my hand."
Yeah,
I was like, how do I work this out?
I got confused because I thought you just said that it was like drawn to like within the rock. I didn't realize that you said there was like an indentation.
No worries. That's just how D&D goes. See, that's how you redirect it as a DM. You're like, all right, they're smashing. They're going to uncover the thing. I want them to find.
Your hand axe turned into a broom and dusted some dirt off of the...
Right. It'd be real shitty if she's like, well, you find this gilded rose that's broken into 6 pieces because you smashed it instead of poking the wall like I told you to do.
And you all starved to death in this small room with no way out.
Because you're a fucking Amazon barbarian.
That was one of my favorite parts of tonight was Rohisha like explaining her thought process. Like, yeah, I smash things, but I do it with discernment.
I can tell what I hit.
Yep. All right, guys. So we'll see you next week for Curse of Strahd, where we're fighting death druids.
Ooh, death druids.
Yeah.
Fun. Saving the Mardukov and returning wine to Barovia, which is very important.
Especially to that.
Fireball time.
Yeah.
It's fireball time.
Yeah.
Let's burn those bitches. But let's make sure we don't murder Arabelle.
Well, we'll see.
Has her
as
reaction.
Arabelle,
She's our fated ally, guys.
she's on her way out, man. She's like, I'm getting out of here. She just needs a turn. I think she's close
Yeah,
to
she goes before me.
Yeah.
She
Arabelle
goes
has
before
her
me, but I
reaction, too.
can't. I
Yep,
can't
well, once
see
her
her.
turn happens. She used her reaction to get out of
Yeah.
the way of the druid that came in the door.
Such a good thing.
Yeah, she'll have her reaction.
She will have, yeah. She'll go ethereal and she'll be safe.
But at the same time, like I can't see her. There's a giant bat in my way, so I'm not even like.
She'll pass
Irina
a
doesn't
message
even
on
know
her
she's
way,
there.
She's like, I'm going away now.
All right, and if you guys have any questions about like character creation for the one shot, just let me know.
Will do. Very excited.
See you
All
guys.
right.
All right,
Good night,
bye. Have a good
everybody. Bye, stream.
Thank you.
Bye,
Good
everybody.
job.